What? And I'm going to give you one opportunity because we're friends.
Winner!
Who gives a shit about where the Bulls been?
Yeah, F him. They went from loving this guy, best move ever, to hating him.
I think it's the most ridiculous thing in the world.
I love it because it tells you how the game was played.
There's nowhere for him to go. I think there's one place.
You can't do that in the national team. Do I look like I'm freaking kidding?
Those things that are absolutely insane.
Successful and sexy? No. It wasn't aggravating at times? Yes.
Sorry,
That's not very fair.
It's not about being fair.
Welcome to the greatest soccer show ever. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the weekly recap from We Are Soccer. Whew, lots to get to, as usual. We found out the cities that are hosting the 2026 World Cup and the games they'll get. We figured out where the final is going to be, how many games are in each city. It's some exciting times. We'll talk about that. EPL, some big wins for some big teams. The big game today, Arsenal take it to Liverpool. We'll talk about that. We've got a lot to get to in the world of soccer, especially U.S. soccer fans being called dumb by Lindsey Horan. Yes, we'll dive in there. As I said, lots to get to. Kylian Mbappe could be moving. Girona or Bayer Leverkusen? Which is a bigger victory if they win the league? We'll talk about that. Inter Miami gets booed in Hong Kong. We'll tell you why. We'll show you the tables for the EPL, the Bundesliga, and La Liga. Lots and lots to get to. Before we jump in and meet the boys here in the studio, I want to say a big thank you to our partners and our sponsors. A big thank you to Soccer World. Did you make it out to the Soccer World's big weekend 50% off sale? If you did, let us know. Leave a comment. Put a picture of what you bought. Or go on the Facebook group and leave the picture there. Big thank you to Next Level Training. This past week, we got to interview one of Next Level's big stars, Kellen Acosta. That's on our YouTube channel. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Thank you to Thomas McGee's Sporting House and Bar. They are downtown Detroit. All the soccer games in the world that's on TV are at Thomas McGee's. Great place, great food, great beer. And thank you to the Michigan Jaguars. No matter what age, skill level you're at, we can find a place for you at the Michigan Jags. We'll talk about some stuff for the Jags later as well. Big thank you to our friends, partners, and sponsors there. Now, we're missing Danny today. Danny's out of town, unfortunately. It is what it is. But it is Brooks and Nate and me here in the studio. Nate, how are you, buddy? You doing all right this weekend?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful. Big soccer in this weekend, if you will.
Yeah?
Running around doing this, doing that, as I normally am on the weekends. Missing Danny.
Yeah.
But you know what? He's in a better place.
You
He died.
a bit ominous. Do you want to tell us exactly what you mean by that, my friends?
He's in a better place.
Yeah.
Oh, he's in Florida. I mean, that's how like.
That's a better place than Michigan right now.
and,
Absolutely.
No, I mean it's funny because like I've grown close to Danny, even though I've only known him for a short time. Surprising, and I do miss him. I haven't seen him in a while, but at the same time, knowing where he's at and who he's with, I know he's happy and having a good time. So, that's that.
Yeah, you lucky bastard, Danny.
So
All right.
Taken care of.
it's sunny and there's water.
Yeah, and it's a lot warmer than here.
Water you actually want to go in. Not
Yeah.
water you just look at and go, why is it frozen?
Yeah, this is true. All right, big soccer weekend for you as well, my friend. I get it. Brooks, you were doing some soccering yesterday, or watching some soccer, I should say. How are you, and how was your weekend, my friend?
Good. I was at the Wolves College Showcase yesterday. That was good. A lot of college coaches, a lot of talking with parents, and watching, it was Wolves, Vardar, FC United from Chicago, and Indy 11 from Indianapolis. So all MLS Next teams. So I'm good, and, a lot of different stuff. And guess what? This was the opening weekend of, Craig. Can you guess?
Well, let's see. The opening weekend of February 4th. No, I have no idea. What are we talking about?
Oh,
here?
college lacrosse is back, baby. Some college lacrosse is back. And guess what? It's Sunday, the first Sunday of the month. So it's lacrosse shirt Sundays.
Nate.
Look what I have for both of you. I have for both of you some awesome shirts. See?
Oh, my.
You guys can wear it if you want.
He has officially lost it. Nate, would you like to tell him this is a soccer show?
I don't even know what kind of show this is anymore.
I know.
I'm barely invited into any of the big people conversations. I just show up, and next thing I know, I got a guy waving around lacrosse shirts and telling me to put them on.
You know what? Last week he was talking about baseball.
Yesterday I'm hearing baseball and like talking about, I don't know, competitive badminton or something. I don't know what happened.
Pickleball.
Yeah.
Oh, Christ. If it leads to pickleball, I'm doing a walkout.
All roads lead to pickleball. We're all heading there.
Not in my house.
Actually,
Not in my house.
honestly,
You can get paid for playing pickleball.
Oh, wait. No, I've changed my mind.
Yes.
well, why get paid when you can do something fun for free and for drunk?
Can I get paid and do it for drunk? No?
Normally
You drunk?
not,
No.
normally not. Unless you're really good.
Yeah, not going to happen in pickleball.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
you know.
you can't convince me. We've gone off the rails,
We really have.
but I'm gonna and I'll end it like this. But you can't convince me that a nice summer day of vodka sodas and pickleballing eventually it won't turn fun somehow, some way.
I mean,
Old people getting really pissed off at you because you're taking up the court and you're drunk. Come on, Alphil. This place has gone downhill. I remember just last summer when it was not full of these younger guys playing pickleball. Imagine that, Greg. Pickleball. You're the younger guy in that sport. You're the younger guy.
yeah, that sounds
Yeah.
interesting, except for pickleball.
But you're the younger guy.
Yeah.
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 You are. But you're kicking the oldies back to shuffleboard.
But I can get drunk, though, right? So
Yeah.
I'm in. You know what? I'm in.
And you're
I'm in.
pissing off the old people.
Yeah, you know what? I'm good at that. So
You'd be like, screw you, olds.
yeah, because that's what we call them, olds.
I do. I call them olds.
All right, boys. Let's jump in. Let's get to some soccer here.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk. We're gonna start today, 3 p.m. Eastern time. The host city was announced for the final of the 2026 World Cup. It is going to be in New York/New Jersey, MetLife Stadium. So Greg Berhalter's pretty happy because he's from there.
Down the street. Down the
right-
street from
right
where he
down
grew
the
up.
street from where he grew up. Yeah,
Let's not fancy it up. It's not New York.
it's New
It's
Jersey.
New Jersey.
It's New
Stop.
Jersey.
Stop.
Hey,
you're
yes.
trying to shine it up. No, it's not.
That's not me. I'm reading the articles. That's what they're saying, man. So yeah, I
Not-
agree. I'm
it's
just
New Jersey.
a messenger.
Period.
Yeah, MetLife
Done.
is in New Jersey. It is interesting that that's where they've chosen. We all expected it to be in Dallas, Jerry's World at the AT&T Stadium. Apparently not so. It's coming to New Jersey, as you heard Nate say. Listen, we're going to put up the graphic here. We're going to talk about some of the games where they're at. Here are your 2026 World Cup host cities, and then I will tell you how many games are in each country, in each city. So Seattle, San Francisco, Los Angeles, Kansas City, Dallas, Atlanta, Houston, Boston, Philadelphia, Miami, New York, New Jersey, Mexico City, Monterrey, Guadalajara, Vancouver, and Toronto, with the finals being played, as we said, in New Jersey. Now, hold tight, my friends. A lot of people are wondering how many games in how many different cities. We've got that for you. All right. Overall, Canada is going to be hosting 13 games. Mexico also hosting 13 games. Now, if my math is correct, and I suck at math, so someone's going to have to double check this, we got USA 91 games. 91. Now, the next question, well, how does that break down? All right, here you go, friends. Atlanta officially going to have 8 games, 5 group stage, 1 round of 32, 1 round of 16, and 1 semifinal. Boston, Gillette Stadium, where the Patriots play, out there in Foxborough, Massachusetts. 7 games officially, 5 group, 1 round of 32, and 1 quarterfinal. Dallas, the Jerry's World AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. 9 games officially, 5 group stages, 2 round of 32, 1 round of 16, and the other semifinal. Houston, NRG Stadium, 7 games officially, 5 group stage, 1 round of 32, 1 round of 16. Kansas City, Arrowhead Stadium, the footballing Chiefs play at that one. They are hosting 6 games in the 2026 World Cup, 4 group stage, 1 round of 32, 1 quarterfinal. Now, Los Angeles, SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California, hosting 8. That's where the Rams, I think the Chargers play still. 5 group stage, 2 round of 32 games, and 1 quarterfinal. Into Miami, Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. 7 games officially they'll be hosting throughout the 2026 World Cup. 4 group stage games, 1 round of 32, 1 quarterfinal, and the third place match. New York, MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. As we said, they're officially hosting 8 games, 5 group stage, 1 round of 32, 1 round of 16, and the final. Philadelphia, Lincoln Financial Field, 6 games officially, 5 group stage, 1 round of 16. San Francisco, Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, California, 6 games officially, 5 group stage, 1 round of 32. Now Seattle up there in the northeast.
Northwest.
Is it northwest? No, you're right.
Yes,
You're right.
yes.
Bad at directions. Jeez. Lumen Field, 4. They're hosting 6 games overall, 4 group stage, 1 round of 32, 1 round of 16. Toronto officially hosts 6. Vancouver hosts 7. 5 each have group stage games, 1 round of 32 each, and then Vancouver's 1 round of 16. And the last 13, Guadalajara, Mexico City, and Monterrey. 4 games in Guadalajara, which is just group stage games. Mexico City hosts 5 games officially, and Monterrey the other 4. So now, how does that break down for the USA? USA, by the way, guys, I don't know if you know this, they're going to be having their camp, right, before the tournament starts in Atlanta. Now, you'd think that's a pretty good place to put your camp to.
Well, that's where the new facility is supposed to be built.
Correct.
So that makes sense. But it's always usually been in California, which you would have thought maybe they would have hosted it in California as usual because that's where they're going to play.
Because now, as we now know, USA opens up in L.A. for the first group stage game. The second group stage game's up in Seattle. Then they're back to L.A. for the third one. So there's going to be a lot of traveling done there. There's going to be a lot of traveling for this World Cup in general because it's all over the place.
LA to Seattle's a 2-hour flight, dude.
Well, what about Atlanta to L.A. and then Atlanta to Seattle?
That's nothing. That's
It's like a 6-hour flight, man.
Yeah, it's a 6-hour flight, but when the camp ends versus when the first game starts, you got plenty of time.
Are we readjusting so our camp is now going to move to the West Coast? Is that what we're doing?
No, what I'm saying is if your camp ends the week before you travel, it doesn't really matter. What's their travel schedule? What's their camp schedule like? And I guarantee that's what it is. This is what it is. They're looking to draw in the most amount of money.
Oh, absolutely. It's the World Cup. It's
by
FIFA.
having your camp in Atlanta, you have all the East Coast guys that can go see your camp and probably a couple trial games that you probably will do live.
Yep.
And then you fly over to the West Coast to have the games.
Possibly.
Yep.
But you got to stay over there, right? You're going to have to stay on the West Coast. So now you got to reassemble over there. So you got to have 2 camps essentially.
I mean, it's better than reassembling in a foreign country.
Yeah,
That's what they do anyways, right?
Right. I mean, I don't want to use it as an example because it's a terrible example. But in Qatar, a lot of
baseball.
Use baseball. Use baseball, yes. In Qatar for the 2022 World Cup, all the stadiums were within an hour and a half of each other, and a lot of the camps for the national teams were about an hour away from the stadium. So not a ton of traveling. It was a lot closer in proximity, but it is what it is. This is what happens when you spread it out and you bring it to America, and
I'm
no complaints for me.
So the interesting part is where everything's based. I'm curious what facilities, like training facilities, people will get to train at. Like, will the MLS teams lend them out? Will some colleges and universities?
That's a great question.
Like that. I mean, you could probably see some colleges and universities, lending out their training, their actual fields and then training facilities to help prep all the teams that are coming for the World Cup.
It's a great question.
You have a lot of options for that.
Training facilities within the United States.
Yeah.
Break down college, professional, and places like, I don't know, Legacy Center if you really were desperate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Yes.
you got plenty. We are a land that is not abundance of training facilities.
And they won't be an hour away from the stadium. They can be 20 minutes or down the street from one.
This is true. Do you think that Total Soccer Novi West could be one of the facilities that these national teams could come to? Just saying, we could watch downstairs.
That'd be nice.
That'd be great, wouldn't it?
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna redirect it by the time I hack it and be like, all right, we're gonna be training here. Novi West.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Novi
Why is it a
West.
7v7 pitch?
7v7 field.
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, by then we're gonna use the We Are Soccer money to make an 11v11 pitch out there. You know, that's our goal here,
You've
folks.
got high expectations of how much money this company plans on making here.
Yes. Well, we're asking for donations, please. Like,
Yeah.
anyone wants to donate to the We Are Soccer 11v11 field, like, fund, there you go.
I could see Kellen Acosta. I know where that's at.
You don't say.
Hi.
Home field advantage for Mr. Kellen Acosta.
Yeah.
We'll talk a little bit later about Mr. Kellen Acosta.
Victor goes with Lion Oaks after a rainstorm.
Oh, God. Oh, yes. Oh, you know what? And they won't be able to move it from Lion Oaks to Wixom because the Junior Jags have rented it out, and they're not giving it up.
We have Junior Jags that weekend. Gonna have to find.
You're going to have to go somewhere else, Estonia and Argentina. Sorry about your luck.
Sorry about that. Reed is on the
Yes.
main field.
Yes, exactly.
In goal, staring up at the rafters.
By the way, the Junior Jags is a program that the Michigan Jaguars run that our kids play for because that's where you start the kids out in Junior Jags, and it is a phenomenal program, by the way. I speak very highly of them because, yes, I was there yesterday. My son did not decide, he decided not to really play. He did a lot of dancing.
Oh, Reed was there. He did some dancing too.
Yeah.
And then he did some goalkeeper work, I guess.
Oh, hey.
He actually made a save that was pretty impressive. We think it was by accident.
That's the way the best goalies make them. Throw your body out there.
A couple times he did this unorthodox save where he jumped up over the ball and it went in. Unorthodox, I know, but
That doesn't really count as a save, though, if it went in.
it's unorthodox.
Yeah, definitely unorthodox.
Like Onana.
Yeah.
Definitely like Onana, who made some great saves today, who we'll talk about. One reaction save was unbelievable, by the way, off a deflection. All right, so, yeah, USA is hosting with Mexico and Canada. Mexico is going to open, I believe it's in Mexico City, that opening game. Mexico yet to be determined opponent who they will play. Very interesting. I believe Canada playing all of their games, the group stage games, in Canada as well.
Yeah.
So, hey, you know what? Cool. It is what it is. Getting more excited, but, dripping the information out like this is, it's interesting. We had a conversation this past week with Mr. Kellen Acosta. He is definitely has his eye on 2026 as he picks his next team. By the way, folks, if you haven't already, we interviewed Kellen Acosta, free agent at the moment. He has fielded several offers. He's trying to figure out where to go, where's best for him, because as he says it, listen, 2026 is coming up. I've got to put that as a priority. Go give the interview a watch on our YouTube channel. Really good dude, man. Mr. Kellen Acosta. Kellen stuck around and talked to Nate and myself, took some pictures with us and our daughters here in the studio. Just a good dude, man.
Do you think our kids really appreciate how awesome we are by being able to
Me and you?
Yes,
No.
by being able to hey, here's this national team player that you can now talk to. And they're just like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean...
They don't care, do they?
I mean, my daughter, for the next couple of days, told everybody how she took a picture with a guy who kicked Messi. I don't think she gave me any credit, but
I
yeah.
didn't even mention it. I kind of,
Well, he's the dude, don't forget, in the last World Cup that made the foul on Gareth Bale because he was going to chip the keeper against when he was playing Wales. That was him that made the foul.
Who?
Kellen.
Kellen?
Yeah.
No.
You remember that?
Wait, wasn't it Tim Ream?
No.
Yep.
It was Kellen, I thought.
For the penalty. For the penalty?
Penalty?
No, not the...
Tim Ream caused the penalty.
No, Walker Zimmerman caused the
I'm sorry.
penalty.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Zimmerman did.
Zimmerman,
No,
you're right,
it was
you're
the
right.
second half when Turner was off his line and Bale was looking to just chip him from 50 yards. That was Kellen that made the tactical foul.
Smart man.
Yes.
Kellen's also the guy who shoved the ball into the Mexico penalty taker's
Yes, he did.
chest
He
and
did.
said, "You're about to miss in front of everyone."
Yes, he did. And he did.
He was telling us a little bit about the
And I brought that
dark
up.
arts of the game. Yeah.
Oh,
We had a
I never
great-
asked him about
We
that
had a
when I
great
saw him.
conversation with him about
Yeah.
that stuff, man. He was just a good dude to talk to. Told us playing against Messi. Told us the hard. I asked him the toughest opponent he's ever played against.
Who was it?
Coutinho and Verratti. He's like, oh man. He's like, you on a field, Verratti, and then Coutinho. You couldn't touch him. He's like, you just could not. He's like, we tried to kick him, we couldn't even kick him. They were that quick.
Brazilian Coutinho?
Yep.
And then Verratti, the Frenchman?
The Italian.
Italian. Sorry, the Italian, my bad.
And he was just like, man, I tell you what, best players I've ever played against on the field. They were phenomenal.
And I did try to pitch him FC Cincinnati constantly. low key.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We had some conversations about certain clubs, and yeah, it was fun.
So everybody, please go ahead and check that out. Also, as you've noted at the beginning of the show, Danny is not here with us. He is down in a better place. Oh, Danny, he's in Florida. He's not dead. He's in Florida, hanging out with the olds. But Danny, is that what we're going with now? Everybody's older than us, right?
Yeah.
He's the old.
olds,
The olds.
yes.
Anybody who's older than us is now the olds.
Yes.
Danny, this past week, debuted The United Voice with Danny Price, a podcast for Man United fans.
He's a United fan?
I know, crazy. Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, it's bizarre. I didn't know that
I
either.
didn't know that either.
It's strange. Go ahead. That is on our YouTube channel. Give that a quick view. It's about a 10-minute. He did a very nice job. If I would give him 2 thumbs up, except for it's about United, so I just gave him like half a thumb.
I was about to say, how the hell did you allow that?
Hey, man.
Times are tough?
Times are tough.
Wow. Okay.
He's got his own playlist
Right.
on the We Are Soccer channel. But all his videos will go into that playlist.
Danny
United
gets-
Voice.
Craig said if he needed a guest, he'd go on there and talk.
Danny gets 10 minutes of United. Craig gets Villa Hour. 1 hour of nonstop wall-to-wall Villa.
Only an hour. Oh man, we're cutting it short then. Huh?
Followed by
Oh, man.
Brooks's We Are Lacrosse.
Yes.
We are.
Exactly.
All 2 viewers are going to turn into that.
Yes, and
Yes.
then We Are Baseball follows.
That's right. Upcoming We Are Baseball.
Yeah.
All right, boys. Before we get to Man United, Brighton, and Villa, who all won big this weekend. Before we get to the EPL stuff, I got one other USA Soccer piece to throw your way.
All right.
Did anybody catch the Athletic interview with Lindsey Horan?
You know,
Lindsey Horan, the captain of the U.S. women's national team. Did you catch this?
Plays in France right now.
She does for Lyon.
Yes.
it's great that that interview came out after my daughter bought her picture to put up on the wall
Oh.
from Soccer World. Like, great.
Like, great. Because
Timing's awesome.
because Lindsey Horan thinks we're all dumb. She was quoted in an article saying, I don't think American soccer fans understand my type of style of play on the field and how and what I do. Her specific words were, they listen to the commentators. My example is, I came home from a game and my mom was listening to Julie Foudy, and Julie Foudy said I had a great game, and my mom said I had a great game, and in reality, I had an effing game, is what the word she used. Lindsey Horan, potty mouth, by the way.
Sorry I didn't bleep you.
Yeah, no, yeah. Potty mouth. She said, I think American soccer fans are getting there. They're slowly getting there, but they're not quite there with the rest of the world. They're just not as smart as people in Europe assessing the game. I don't know how I feel about this, boys, because you know what? I know a lot of people in the United States who are super smart at assessing the game, super smart breaking this game down, brilliant players who can talk the game and understand the game. And I also know a ton of European people who are not very good at breaking the game down. They think they are, but trust me, they ain't. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know about you. I'm a little disappointed in her in what she's putting out there.
I think we live in a society where a lot of people listen to media. They tend to, have their favorites and whatnot.
We Are Soccer, like people listening.
Well,
joining
yes,
us now.
but we are geniuses, So
heard it here
that's the
first.
difference between and Mr. Alexi Laos is a good one too, obviously.
Yes, yeah.
But there are some analysts that throw out some really random, like controversial things just to be controversial that don't make sense.
Yeah.
And I really think when they try to do that just to gain viewers and start conversations, it's not a good thing, because the newbies, I would call them, to this sport still, because this sport is still growing, let's be honest, and
Sure.
people are still learning. And, I meet a lot of parents out there going to games, and they admit, hey, I'm not sure, I hadn't played this growing up, and, what's the, process for college recruiting and all that other jazz, and we talk about stuff, but, it's... there are a lot of still soccer newbies out there, and I think she has a point they listen too much to people that just want to spew BS or just get ratings, and they don't go to someone logical.
I get that, but she also has to realize, listen, we're trying to bring more fans into the game every day. We're trying to be more positive. When you go out there, and the quote I have here is from Lindsay, this is actual quote of what she said. American soccer fans, most of them aren't smart. You're calling us dumb. You can't do that. You can do it. Technically, you can, right? You're not supposed to do that. You're the captain of the U.S. women's national team. You're supposed to be able putting it out there, positivity. You want people to come to your games. You want people to come to the game and enjoy it. I feel like I'm not wanted at those games now, and I have an 8-year-old daughter who I would love to take to those games. But I feel like, you know what? Every time, if I do go, I'm going to boo the heck out of her, Lindsey Horan, because I'm sorry, man. That's just not cool. That's all I got. Like, it's not cool. I don't know. I'd love to know what people think. You know, put your comments in the comment below. Let us know in the box. Let us know, because I don't know, man. It's not cool. That's where I'm gonna go. I could say a lot more about it.
It's a little outgoing. I don't know if anyone wants it to comment. To me, it's a little too much. But I mean, there are still a lot of people in this country that I think are still adjusting to the game. And then we still have some that only really watch the European game and don't watch the domestic game.
You know
We're
what?
kind of everywhere.
You know what? If you don't have anything nice today to say, don't say it. Shut your mouth, Lindsey Horan. All right, Nate. No, you don't pass on this one. Don't give a shit. I don't know.
You guys are cute.
Yeah. What? Because you think she's right?
She's 100% right.
You're a fucking dick.
Wait, why am I?
What?
Wait, why am I cute? Because I said I thought she was
Just-
pretty much dead on.
She can't.
Oh, you did? Oh, my
Well,
bad.
I wasn't like
must-
100
I missed that with
Because
I missed that with
American-
you're fumbling around. I thought you.
Sorry.
How is she 100% correct?
She's 100% right, dude.
She doesn't know anybody.
She's
She listens to
100
Julie Foudy.
She's 100% right.
Lindsey Horan
Explain
is
yourself. I'm going to give you a minute to explain yourself. Because
What-
I think that's
she say-
horrible you're agreeing
she-
with her.
she's-
And
she's-
horrible what she said.
I don't think it is. I think. I'm sorry. Let's just be honest. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, did she say all Americans or most?
Most.
So what does most mean?
Majority.
Majority. Majority means 51%.
correct.
51% or above,
Yes.
right?
Sure,
Agreed?
go with that,
51%. You sat on a sideline, soccer sideline before, right? You've played with people before.
Yes.
Is it 51% of those people you sit next to or play with? How super knowledgeable of the game are they?
I mean, depends on the game you go to. I mean, if I'm going to one of my kids' games,
Okay.
right, I get that.
Mhm.
But if I'm going
Those are
to,
fans.
if I'm going and playing like in the
Alright.
tournament I went to down in Florida, I mean, trust me, man, there's
Are they all-
hundreds of dudes there who
Hundreds
are
of dudes.
super good. Women too, all girls, guys, anywhere from the age of 20 to
Would you
to
say
70.
51% of those people are more than 51% of those people are super knowledgeable of the game? Not playing, but knowledgeable of the game.
I think.
I would say yes. I would say more than 51% know what they're talking about, watch the game, and understand it because this game hasn't been around for 5 years. It's been around for 30 or 40 years.
That, where you were at in Florida, is that the norm or is that the elite?
That's probably the elite.
Okay, so now you're talking. You went to the 1% of probably.
Am I part of the 1%?
Yeah, you are.
Yes.
So, I mean, you're
Cool.
talking about an elite So it's like me going, well, I went to coaching conventions and I was around like upper level coaches and they all were super knowledgeable. Yeah, okay, but that's not the average. That's your take. And it's okay to say, hey.
I'll grant you that. I'll grant you everything you've just said, but it is not. Could you imagine if
Now-
Christian Pulisic came out and said that?
Now, here's where she's wrong because even though she's right,
You can't say it.
how many more really bad controversies does the women's national team need at this juncture? How many more? How many more?
Well, they don't want any more.
How about offending all religious people by saying, when you get injured, saying, well, this is proof God doesn't exist. Sweet. Just
Right.
turn everyone
Right.
off. And you might go, oh, I don't care about that. Or again, it's just the image you're giving. Like you said, do you hear this stuff coming out of the men's national team? No, you don't. And that's the problem. The problem is, my view is not so much what she said, is the fact she said it.
Right.
I actually go, I agree with you, but you're a dumbass for saying it.
And the reason why you're a dumbass for saying it, just like if you don't believe in God or whatever, you don't go up on a podium and say, my injury is proof that God doesn't exist. Yeah, starving people, wars, all that shit. Yeah, that's not
Because you
nothing
stubbed
there,
your toe.
nothing there. But you who fulfilled a lifelong career of playing a sport and making a living off it and incredibly blessed because most people can't do that. And actually some people in some countries can't even do that because of repression on your gender. That's the reason.
You know what?
Sweet.
I think she's just sour grapes from the World Cup. She didn't play very well in the World
Right.
Cup. I think she's just sour that people kept saying, you didn't play very well.
So-
I think she has sour grapes about it.
You
She's
need-
just taking it out on us.
You need your PR people
Yes.
for the women's national team to tell everyone, just shut up.
Yeah.
Just shut up for a minute. Just stop any type of talking.
Yep.
Like, no more interviews, nothing. Don't say a word, because apparently you can't handle it. You don't know how to talk because you just mess everything up somehow and you say the wrong things. I don't know why you do it. Take your cues from all the other teams in the past that came before you who probably felt the same way and just didn't say anything. Okay? It's just absurd. But she's right. You know what I mean?
You're entitled to your opinion. And I think, but I'm going to agree with you that she just shouldn't do it. Now, I think there's been a lot of PR work that hasn't been done and that it needs to be done. Brooks, yes, sir.
Well, I'll read some comments.
Oh, yeah, put some comments.
My final word on is that with the U.S. soccer PR is I just don't know if they have a PR department or.
They're getting paid enough now.
I guess.
They should.
Yes. Okay. So we have a John Crum voice, and being from abroad, I've been impressed by those people I have come across in the USA. And even if she is right, you don't say it. And then to Nate's percentages, Victor replies to us, so that means the 4 of you guys on Waz, 2 of you are idiots.
I'll take that. Yeah, I'll hold that mantle. No, that's me. It's me.
You want to be one of the
I'll
idiots?
be the one.
All right,
Fine.
well-
Whatever. Gladly wear it.
You want to do like a flip of the coin to see which one the other?
I don't know, water dogs. Why don't you take this one?
Sure, why not? I'll be,
Sweet.
I'll be one of the idiots with you.
Yeah, hell yeah.
We're the village idiots.
Yeah, fine, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm good with it.
Yeah.
Hey,
Wear it like a badge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Victor, I'm gonna kick you next time I see you. I'm gonna run away because you can't catch me.
So let's see. Michael Tyson is tuning in. She may be right about the percentage about the percent, Nate, as far as fans truly understanding the game, but she is wrong to say that. She is the captain and needs to speak better.
Thank you, Michael.
Well,
Appreciate
I mean,
it.
and that's what I said.
Yeah,
correct.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right. Listen, again, just keep your freaking mouth shut, man. You're a soccer player. Do your job. Don't worry about the criticism from the fans. I know it's the old, right, the LeBron just dribble the basketball thing, but literally you're trying to grow the sport here, and by calling people dumb is not helping grow the sport, Nate.
And that's what I was about to say. Remember what your job is as a national team player, not only to represent your country, but actually to grow the sport within the country by inspiring others.
Thank
and,
you.
If I were to walk out and any team I coach, and because I view my job the same,
Sure.
is to grow the sport and inspire these kids to love the game. Not so, I
Right.
highly doubt they'll be professionals, just percentage-wise you look at it. But maybe they'll have a kid that will love the game, and they'll have a kid who will love the game, and then like 6 generations down, maybe that kid might be a pro, whatever, but it's still growing the game. I don't walk out on a field and go, all you guys are stupid and none of you know anything about the game. You're all stupid kids.
You know what?
Hey, stupid parents too.
Yeah.
None of you know anything about the game. It's like
Next time I play in a game, I'm gonna before the game. Hold on, ref. Don't blow the whistle to start the game. You're all stupid. You're all stupid, and no one knows what they're doing. So I don't know. Just pay attention to your phones.
Well, you're
We're
like
gonna play now.
You're all stupid, referee. I can take off my shirt, and that's not a card.
Ooh, yeah, the referee
not a
definitely
card.
should have yelled.
It's not a card.
No.
Should have yelled.
I'm the only disappointing thing is when I look at Craig playing in Florida in this elite competition of elite all stars, his shirt is still on 90% of the time.
How stupid is that?
Did I tell you? Did I tell you guys the story of my son? What happened to my son?
Your
Yeah, I
son
heard-
did it.
yeah.
Your wife
awesome.
told me. He
Did
ran
I
over
say
to-
that on the air?
No, you
No.
don't
Did I tell
know,
it
but you
offline?
said, yeah.
All right.
No,
Did he
no,
score
your
a
wife-
goal? Did he score a goal and do it?
Who, me?
No,
Or-
your son.
No. All right. So
Your wife told me on the way out.
yeah. So I'll set the scene real quick. Okay. So Nate and I were playing a 6v6 indoor game. Was last year? Must have been last year. we were playing against a team that was very handsy. They like to grab, and I kept running past this one guy, and he kept grabbing my arm and grabbing my shirt, and he grabbed my shirt several times. And I ran past him the last time, and he grabbed my shirt and gave it a real big tug. The referee blows the whistle, calls a foul, and I just took my shirt off, and I gave it to the guy. I go, listen, if you want it so bad, it's yours. The poor referee had no idea what was going on. Most of the people in the stadium who were watching was like, what the hell is this guy taking his shirt off and giving it to?
And it doesn't happen that this jackass is over there going, yeah, take it off.
Right. So, like, it was just something funny, right? The guy kind of laughed, he chuckled, and said, listen, man, you're fast. Anyway, so I get a phone call from my wife a couple of weeks back. She goes, do you know what your son just did on the soccer field and training tonight? In training, one of his teammates, while they were scrimmaging, kept grabbing his shirt. So your son took off his shirt and gave it to the poor kid. And I go, I don't understand the problem. She goes, where the hell would he get that from? I was like, I may have done that last year. And he may have overheard me saying that.
Regular old chip off the old block.
Yeah. I went and told the coach. I think he gets that from his mom.
Where did you learn that from, though? Your dad?
No, I didn't learn it from anywhere. I don't know.
His dad was
Papa Hearn?
Papa Hearn was a shirt remover.
My dad was a defender back in the day. Well, we really got off track here, didn't we? All right. So, yes, American PR, jump on that Lindsey Horan comment and get with her. By the way, the PR team now should be all set because Gio Reyna is back in he's back in the fold of the U.S. men's national team, and he made his English Premiership debut today for Nottingham Forest in a 1-1 draw for Bournemouth. He came in, I believe it is right around the 68-minute mark. He played really well, boys. Started out on the left wing in the midfield, came into the middle of the game. I thought he played very well. Gio Reyna is going to he's going to get a lot of minutes at Nottingham Forest. I wasn't quite sure if he was going to be able to keep up with the speed of this game. For the 20 minutes he played, I know it's 20 minutes, very well. Turned, passed the ball one time, looked over. Trust me, I think this is going to be a really, really good fit for Gio Reyna. Now, yes, Nottingham Forest are down at the bottom of the table. There's going to be some big games. There's going to be games against the Man Uniteds, the Man Cities, the Arsenals, the Liverpools, the Villas, the Newcastles, the teams that just hold 50, 60, 70, 80% of the possession, and he has to sit in, and he has to hunker down and work. Those are the games I'm interested to see how he does, because it is 90-plus minutes of grueling defending when Man City have the ball. So I'm really interested to see there. Unfortunately, Matt Turner was on the bench again. I do not think this gentleman will get off the bench at Nottingham Forest. I'm very worried for him there. He may have to find another club.
That's why I said he's not an EPL goalkeeper.
He's not. I think teams of the clubs he gets, Arsenal and now Nottingham Forest.
Yeah. Horvath just got loaned to a championship.
Cardiff City, correct?
Yeah.
Ethan Horvath.
Which would be good.
Cardiff
He
City.
needs to play.
Agreed. I would say that Matt Turner right now probably needs to get to a championship level team because where he does struggle, in my opinion, is with his feet and his distribution.
Yes.
And with teams the way they're playing in the Premiership and holding possession and distributing out of the back and inviting pressure from the oncoming forward, that is not.
Most of his goals have come off bad passes from the back, right? Didn't he give up a horrible one where he played it right to a guy and then he scored?
You nailed it. Yeah, he's made some mistakes. He just can't get the ball out from under his feet quick enough, and he can't make the decision quick enough because, again, the English Premiership is the quickest, fastest, just toughest league in the world. You look like you want to tell me a funny comment that came in. Are we breaking away from this to go back to something?
No, we're not. But honestly, I was gonna make a joke here. He plays for Nottingham Forest. If a player falls, do you hear when they fall in the forest?
Good lord! Oh, good lord!
Dad joke.
Dad joke by the guy in the room who's not a dad that we know about yet.
Can we go back to talking about lacrosse, please?
Yeah. So listen, Gio Reyna, U.S. men's national team player, recently this past, I think it was a week now, moved to Nottingham Forest, played today, made his Premiership debut, as we said, at Bournemouth. He has yet to make his debut at Nottingham Forest. So that's very interesting. All right, let's jump in, talk about the Premiership as we normally do. Premiership has been on fire this weekend. Goals galore Oh my word, goals galore. Why don't we start out with the game of the weekend? That is going to be Arsenal hosting Liverpool. What a game this was. Right from the off, Liverpool almost had a Jota, was almost in on goal by himself in the first minute. Wasn't to be, took a bad touch. From there, this game went back and forth, and really, I think over the course of the game, Arsenal decided that this is the game they're going to step up and play in. For the last several weeks, probably 6 to 8 weeks, they've been hit or miss. They haven't been playing great football. It's been lackadaisical, looking like they haven't gotten out of third gear and they don't know how to get in third gear. Today, Liverpool, who have been in prime form, in my opinion, for the last 2 to 3 months, I mean, they have looked really good. Today, they were sluggish. Arsenal took it to them, and in the end, deserved winners. Very impressed with Arsenal. Very, very impressed. Now, this was a Liverpool team without Darwin Núñez, injured, without Mo Salah, injured, and away at AFCON. They're missing some players, but they made some mistakes that cost them goals. I'm telling you right now, this game, in my opinion, could really set Arsenal forward in a path going on through the season here.
That's good momentum. I mean, Arsenal could have went the other direction too, just because, honestly, if you think about it, with the rumors of the fake news of Arteta leaving and everything.
That's true.
You know what I mean? That could have just,
That could have unraveled them. That could have unraveled. What if that? So
who
just
knows if it's true or not?
That's true. Let's just set the scene real quick here. When Xavi came out and said that he was going to be leaving Barcelona at the end of the year, pretty much, I think it was 24 hours later, fake news broke. Mm-hmm. We're calling it fake news because
it didn't come from Arteta.
It didn't come from a super reliable source. It didn't come from Arteta, obviously. It didn't come from Fabrizio Romano. Mm-hmm. But the news broke that Mikel Arteta had agreed to leave Arsenal in the summer and move to Barcelona. He then did a press conference 24 hours later after that and said, listen, this is fake news. It's actually very upsetting. I'm very much enjoying my time here. I want to stay here. I'm liking it. Yeah. I have no plans to leave. Now, that's what he's supposed to say, right? You hear coaches say that all the time. When a coach has been linked with a club and you know they're leaving to go to that club, yep. What happens in the next press conference? No, that's not real. No, I never said that. Next question, move on. I think it was interesting that he kind of kept going with it a little bit and said, listen, this is fake news. It's upsetting to me. It's upsetting the team. What if he took that back to his team and said, listen, I am 100% legit when I say this. They put that out there for clicks. This is fake news. I want to rally around us. I want to work even harder now. We've got a big game coming up against Liverpool. Let's really show them that we mean business. And when he celebrated goals today, you could tell he's all in. Mm-hmm. That man is all in. When
he wants an EPL title.
Oh, he absolutely does.
For Arsenal, yeah.
When Arsenal scored today, he was sprinting around the touchline. It was crazy to see. It annoyed me a little bit, by the way, that he was doing that. But I see why, because he's had a bit of a rough week.
Don't be like Klopp. He want to pull something. What, did he pull his butt last year?
He pulled his hamstring. Yeah, he pulled his hamstring. Very interesting, the Klopp news. We're still kind of debating that a little bit or digging into that. Klopp obviously leaving. I thought that might help spur Liverpool on a little bit, this last big game. No? Nate, looks like you want to say something?
I mean, I'm not taking much from the match.
Okay.
With Liverpool. I still think Liverpool's a good side. I think
absolutely.
They're missing several players right now.
Correct.
Still
they're playing AFCON.
Injury, AFCON, and Asian Cup. Yeah. That would have helped. So I think they're down. I think they got a tired team because you're missing those subs that you would have had, especially in the midfield. And you played twice this week, I believe.
Yep.
And so... Yeah, I'm not taking much from it other than that it was just a blip in the road, and Arsenal, it is a good team, and you played them at home. I mean, Wednesday they beat Chelsea 4-1. Yeah. So there you go. Smack the hell out of them.
You know what?
It's just I think the schedule with the players they're missing. That's all I'm looking at it as.
Seems like everyone's smacking Chelsea lately.
Well, yes, we'll get to that in a little bit for sure. Nate, you're 100% right, and you may not like what I'm going to say or agree with it, but I'm going to put up the table here. But we'll say Arsenal, Villa, Liverpool, Tottenham, all in the top 4 or 5 there. Have a loss or two in the last couple of weeks. They've had a game where they haven't shown up or haven't performed or have played a good team and lost, right? So They're all. This isn't going to be a season where the top. There's two teams that go and win with 90 and 100 points.
Yeah, I mean, if they get dumped by City on March 9th, and then that's a different story. I don't think they're going to lose up until then, like playing Nottingham Forest,
Right.
Playing Brentford or Burnley. No offense to those teams, but say Brentford pulled one on them, then okay, then maybe we have something to talk about. But Arsenal beating them at home on a short week.
Yeah, and because of that, Liverpool actually, they still stay top of the table. After 23 games, they're still top of the table with 51 points. Arsenal, after 23 games, 49 points. Man City, 2 games in hand. They play tomorrow, and they still have another game in hand. They're on 46 points, actually. So right now, Villa in 46 points, but due to goal difference behind them, sitting fourth, and then Tottenham on 44. So, yeah, Nate, you're right. It's a loss. Is it devastating? No, because all the other teams around them are taking a loss or two here and there as well.
Except for Man City.
Man City have, and unfortunately for the rest of us who want to see Man City not win it this year, they play tomorrow against Brentford. Kevin De Bruyne back. Haaland could be back as well. So they're going to be hitting their stride here, and they're healthy.
Yeah.
They're getting healthy.
Yeah.
But okay, so this is gonna sound strange, right? I want Aston Villa to go on and win, and want them to get as far as
What?
as high
That
as
sounds
possible. I know,
so strange.
crazy,
You want
crazy. But
hold on.
but
Hot news.
hot news, yeah, yeah. But
Write this down, Brooks.
but I almost wanted Liverpool to win today.
That's the hot news button.
That's the hot news take, yeah.
Yeah.
I almost wanted Liverpool to win today to open up more of a gap, right? Because they could have gone to 54 points, 8 points ahead. Man City would have had 2 games because you're like, now we're really going to see a freaking battle towards the end and a title challenge.
Well, I mean, it's still very, very tight, very, very close. You know, City wins their all games. They're top of the table by 1 point.
Right.
You know what I mean? So every Arsenal, Liverpool, and City are all battering each other about right there, first, second, third still, until someone really hits stride and breaks free, which will probably be Man City because everyone's healthy.
Yeah.
And then they'll get relegated next year due to all the legal battles. So, you gotta
Wouldn't that be great if they won?
No, because it's not going to happen.
No, I don't think it'll happen.
Says you, but Danny still has faith.
No.
Danny
Danny it's like your Chelsea thing. You want it to happen. It's not going to happen.
Nailed it.
You want it
Nailed
to happen.
it.
Doesn't mean it's
It ain't
going to
gonna
happen.
happen. You know what's gonna happen?
Listen, I'm with you. I'd love for both things to be true.
Right.
And then I'd love for politicians to be honest.
I'm going to tell you why.
And then crime to stop. And then world hunger to be cured.
Yeah.
And all those things could happen all this year.
Well, I'm going to tell you
Or
why.
probably not.
But it ain't
I'm going
gonna
to tell you why I'm right about Chelsea here
Well,
when we get there.
When we get to the Chelsea game.
Yes.
For now, we've got a couple of other Premiership games to talk about. We'll talk about Aston Villa, how they thumped Sheffield United 5-0. We'll talk about how Man United won 3-0 in a very routine win right after this message from our friends. Be right back.
Hi, Brooks. We're at our favorite store, Soccer World in Rochester. We're just going to do some light shopping. Nothing big. Ooh, pretty colors. Oh, and one of these too?
Ooh, Germany. Nate would like this.
Hey, Brooks, look at all these. Look what I got.
Club America. Ooh. Wow, that's not MLS. Cool.
Socks? No.
Ooh, a ball pump. Next to line.
Sir, you're next.
Right. That's a mannequin. You know that.
Huh?
It's a mannequin.
Oh. Sorry, sir.
Craig, what are you doing?
Nothing.
Huh?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for sticking around. Appreciate it. As you saw in that little promo there, Soccer World, one of our favorite partners and sponsors, man. They've been with us for a long time. Did you make it out to the Soccer World 50% off sale this weekend? If you didn't, you missed out, my friends. It was Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and it was phenomenal. I dropped by today, the Rochester store, talked a little bit to Wad. Listen, man, if you missed it, I apologize. It sucks, but still, Soccer World, for all your soccer gear needs, they got some great stuff. There's still going to be some sales going on in the next couple of weeks. Get out to one of their locations, or soccergear.net is where you can find them. All right, let's jump in. Let's talk about some of the games that happened this weekend. Why don't we start with Everton 2, Tottenham 2. Richarlison going back to Everton, back to Goodison Park, putting 2 solid goals in. He looks like he might have found his form here, boys. Richarlison?
Wow, you were making fun of him at the beginning of the year, but yeah, wow.
Yeah, man, he's found his form here. He's gotten some stranger tattoos throughout the months here of the season, but yes, he's found his form. Everton 2, Tottenham 2. Everton, I'm telling you what, though, to tie Tottenham, that's a big result for them. I think speaks more for how Everton are really climbing here and really doing well.
Well, they might get points deducted, so they know they
Even
need
more,
to get whatever they can.
They know they need to get more points.
Climbing what, from 19th to 18th?
I mean,
well,
they are
if they get
playing
to
well, though.
understand.
Yeah, yeah. But if you think about it, I mean, I know they have so just so everybody's aware, the 10-point deduction is there. It has been removed from it. If they didn't have that 10-point deduction, where would they be? They'd be in 10th, 9th at the moment, I think.
Yeah.
They would be on 38. They'd be in 6th, somewhere around right there. So, listen, they're playing well. Sean Dyche has come in, and I'm sorry. They don't have a good player in that squad.
The good old 4-4-2 never let you down, right, Craig?
Excuse
Bingo,
me. Are
bingo.
you trying to tell me that 38-year-old Ashley Young is not a good player?
Isn't Seamus Coleman 35 or 36
Yes.
and he was playing?
Yes, Jordan
Yeah.
Pickford is up there as well.
Yes.
Dominic Calvin-Lewin.
in all
They had that
seriousness,
one-
Dominic Calvert-Lewin is a good player.
When he's healthy.
Yes.
The poor guy can't stay healthy.
They have one young guy they're looking to sell, though, aren't they?
Moises Keane.
Yes.
Yes. I'm surprised he didn't get shifted out in the window because they could have made up some of that money that they still owe the Premiership.
Well, I'm sure Sean Dyche is happy if they can stick
Oh,
around
yeah,
and stay
for
up.
sure.
You know?
So, but there is still a couple of things that hang over the heads there at Everton. They may get deducted more points. So 2-2, Everton and Tottenham there. I think that's 2 points dropped for Tottenham. Brighton Hove Albion 4, Crystal Palace 1. This was bad. This was very poor from Crystal Palace. The fans let Roy Hodgson and that Crystal Palace team know exactly how they felt. They stuck around after the game, screaming and yelling. A lot of the Crystal Palace players had to go over, try to calm the fans down. They tried to talk. That's never a good idea. Just an FYI. Don't do that, players.
Did Chris Richards play?
Chris Richards did play. He did not look good. Nobody in a Crystal Palace shirt looked good. Now,
The EPO may be too much for him.
I think
I
the
don't
right
think he-
system.
Playing out of position.
I
He's
say
still
in the
playing
right
as
position.
a 6? Is he still playing as a 6 for them?
Yeah.
Yep.
So
He's not technical enough.
here's
That's what I mean.
something.
He's playing out of position.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a good look. He's playing out of position. I don't know if the system and the formation fits him, but either way, he needs to get to a team where he can get his confidence up. Maybe get him in a Nottingham Forest shirt with the other Americans. I don't know, but anyway,
I think
yeah,
he
no.
should go join the American Pizza League.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, the Pizza League of
AC
America.
Milano.
Yeah.
Get over there to AC Milan.
Yeah.
I think he needs to go back to playing what he normally plays, which is on the
Probably.
back line.
Yeah,
And I think
yeah.
he'll be fine there because he looked really good, actually, for them in spells against certain teams.
What about move back to Bayern? They need center backs.
Nah, we're Phil. We got Eric Dreyer.
Eric Dyer.
Dyer.
Him,
Dyer.
too.
Yep, him too. Who played yesterday and played average, by the way. But listen,
First time ever, actually, 2 English players started for the Bundesliga.
I'm sorry. Wait,
For
hold,
Bayern?
hold your horses here.
the
First time ever, 2 English players
In
on
the
the same team have
Bundesliga.
started.
In the Bundesliga. Wow. I thought
That's
that,
the first time ever.
Eric?
No English play. What is wrong with you people? You don't like English?
Or maybe is
as
it-
I'm asking the
Say?
question, I knew.
I think it's
answer.
the opposite one. The English don't like the Bundesliga.
Just
That might be it. But I mean, you'd
Eric
think.
Dreyer, and they got the start at center back.
Yeah, and Harry Kane up top.
And
in the
Harry
forward
Kane on
is
top, and
number
that was
9
the
position.
first time ever in the league that 2 English players started
It's
one team.
interesting that Bayern have gone for the 2 English players because
They tried to get Trippier.
They tried to get Trippier,
Yeah.
so they could add a third.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Interesting, though, that is like the first time ever 2
Ever.
English dudes have ever played.
However,
started.
multiple Americans. We'll get there
Exactly.
later if we get there.
Yeah.
If we have time.
We're
Multiple
gonna do
Americans
Bundesliga chat
starting
time.
all over the Bundesliga. Multiple teams with multiple Americans. Doeth by sea.
Bizarre
if
to
you
me.
will.
Bizarre to me. Anyway, moving on. Burnley 2, Fulham 2. Speaking of Americans starting,
America?
there's two of them starting for Fulham.
Probably Robinson had a nice assist. on
Yeah,
one of them.
yeah, he did.
Yeah.
So I would say 2 points dropped for Fulham, who went to Burnley. Burnley did very well to get a point there. Newcastle United 4, Luton Town 4. This was a
goals galore.
barn burner of a game, I tell you, boys.
Yeah.
I was enthralled on the couch watching this. I was jumping up and down. Luton Town went up 4-2 in this game. Luton Town went up 4-2, and I instantly, for the next 10 seconds, watched and went, Newcastle's going to come back and tie this game. They may even go on to win it, and they should have. I put a couple bucks on the draw. I think I put $2 on the draw, and I won like 12 or something like that.
Wow.
Doubled down because I originally had Newcastle beating the piss out of Luton, but it didn't happen.
Yeah.
So what were you going to say?
Well, when Ross Barkley scored, that's going to be a good day,
Yeah, trust me. Hey, you know what?
Yeah.
I'll bag on Ross Barkley any day because he's not a great player. He's been playing well this year.
I thought he
He's been
had some
playing
decent
well.
years at Everton.
He was, and then he got his move away and
To Chelsea, and that didn't go very
it
well.
didn't go well. And then he went to Villa, it didn't go well. Then he went to France, and it didn't go well. And now this is his last chance.
And
And
this is
boys, he's taking it out. He's taking it.
So I think there's a connection to my theory that everyone goes to Chelsea just gets worse.
I mean, yes, that you're not.
For a lot of players do.
You might be right there, actually.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. But that game, I tell you what, ended 4-4. Newcastle could have gone on to win it after being down 4-2. Hell of a game. I was thoroughly entertained. Right after that game, my Aston Villa went on to beat the hell out of Sheffield United 5-0. 4-0 at halftime. I know Nate will make fun of me for this.
I'm waiting.
And bring it. But
It's coming.
Ollie Watkins, first
Oh.
Premiership player to 10 goals, 10 assists on the year, 19 goal involvements.
Oh, you mean the guy in United wanted, right?
The guy that Craig didn't value.
Yeah.
The guy that,
plays
was
for
no
the English
good.
national team.
You give me 60 million, you can have him.
The guy who said, you literally said, no, you didn't say 60 million. I think you said a toaster or something like that.
Yeah.
At the time that you said that last year, you're like,
Yes.
take him. He's garbage.
Yes.
I was like, I don't know about that, buddy.
Well, you know what? I do this every other week pretty much. I'll admit when I was wrong. I was wrong. I've done it before on the Ollie
You know
Watkins
what, though?
thing. I was
In
wrong.
this case, though, doesn't it feel good to be wrong?
Yeah, I don't want to be right. I would
You're
love to
like,
be wrong.
Boy, I swung and a miss on that one.
Yeah.
My face is red, and I'm enjoying it.
And we're winning.
Hey!
Now, I do want to note that Douglas Luiz for Aston Villa played a freaking phenomenal game in the middle of the field. There was a pass that came out of this game where he set up Ollie Watkins for his goal. That just is sublime.
Yeah.
This pass with the outside of his foot around a defender into Ollie Watkins' path running. Ollie Watkins takes 2 touches. The second touch is the ball in the back of the net. I tell you what, if this was Kevin De Bruyne, or if this was, name someone like that, a Bruno Fernandes or something like that, we are seeing this pass every 7 minutes on every soccer show around the world. But because it wasn't one of those two, it's not. If you haven't seen this, guys, this pass from Douglas Luiz to Ollie Watkins is just something. Hang it in the Louvre. This thing was a pass of beauty, the way it was curved around the defender.
Nate, I have a question, Nate. Could you imagine if we had copyright to actually videos of EPL matches? How much of our show would be just Villa highlights all the time?
Oh, no, none, because Greg would have his 1 hour Villa hour.
Yeah, that's
It
true, yeah.
It just,
Yeah.
It would be extended to a 5-hour Villa hour. That's what we'd call it.
Breaking down
Yes,
of the Villa
yes.
hour. Yeah.
But anyway, Aston Villa up big 5-0 over Sheffield United. Villa keep tabs. They are still in the top 4 there and playing well. Next up at Villa Park on Wednesday, Chelsea in the FA Cup replay match there. On to games today from the EPL. Bournemouth won, Nottingham Forest won. As you heard us talk about that earlier, Matt Turner on the bench. Gio Reyna makes his debut in that game, coming off the bench in about the 68th minute. All right, we already talked about Arsenal 3, Liverpool 1. Chelsea at home at Stamford Bridge, hosting Wolverhampton Wanderers, get downed 2-4. Wolverhampton Wanderers, I will say this, 2 pretty lucky goals, some deflections and bounces, but you got to be good enough to get that, work hard enough. They worked their socks off. Yeah, all right, Brooks, go at it, my friend. Oh, go ahead.
No, Wolves is a hard-working team.
Oh,
United played
absolutely.
a midweek,
Hard to play
and they came back
Oh.
on United and gave them a run for their money, or it took them right
Wolves
down.
Wolves
right
are
down-
unlucky not to get that draw, if we're being
It
honest.
took them right down to the minute where it took a wonder goal from
Mainu.
coming in at like the 93rd minute in order to topple them.
Yep.
So
No, Wolves are a good team, and don't everybody forget, Wolves beat Man City earlier this year 2-1.
They did.
And it could have been 3-1, by the way, in that game. So, Nate, you're right. Wolves are a good squad. Don't look down upon them. But this is Chelsea at home in a resurgent form, and they just kept giving the ball away in the middle of the field. Oh, my gosh, Moises Caicedo, how much money did you cost that club, and how many goals have you just been the person who gives the ball away? Golly, what are you doing? Cole Palmer had a very nice goal. I thought he played well for Chelsea, but overall, just not well enough. Christian Nkunku started. He just couldn't see enough of the ball. Wolves kind of smothered him out. Brooks, I know you're dying to get to this overall Chelsea team and club at the moment.
Yes.
A little bit in dire straits. Before I let you go, you're going to have to tell me if you agree or disagree. Danny Price chimed in on a text message thread this week that said Pochettino could be sacked pretty soon because bad.
Yes. So actually, I saw something on Twitter today that they think they want to go after Xabi Alonso if they sack.
Oh, that's a terrible
Pochettino.
idea.
I know.
That's a terrible idea.
It is.
I mean, everyone wants to go after Xabi Alonso. That's nice.
Correct.
He won't go there.
Agreed. Because it's a mess.
Let me before
why.
you jump in.
Yeah.
Let's explore that
Yeah,
for a
yeah,
minute if we
yeah.
could. Let's unpack that because I don't think putting Xabi Alonso in charge of someone like Chelsea or we'll say a big club is a good idea. Good idea because how many years of coaching experience does he have? 3.
Well, Liverpool's a big club, so you don't want him to go there?
No, I think that's a terrible idea. I don't think they'll even consider him. You need someone who has been doing this at a good level for 5, 10, 15 years because there are big name players
Yeah.
whose egos you have to,
He has
3
years of head coaching experience, several years of
playing.
other coaching. No,
Oh.
other coaching experience
As an assistant, right?
As an assistant
Yep.
in and around big clubs.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like he's just woken up, and he's a marquee player played a position that was a leadership position and was a captain
agree.
for several
I agree.
high-level teams. I think he'd be fine at Liverpool. I think he'd be fine at Madrid. And I think he would be foolish to go to Chelsea.
Correct.
Yeah, well, Chelsea's a dumpster fire and a half, right?
Yeah.
I
And
personally
if he rounds out how he's shaping to round out, he would be the first. You cannot put value in what he's doing at Leverkusen.
Yes.
That would be the first time ever.
Xabi Alonso.
Ever.
Not Xabi. Are we talking about Barcelona Xabi or Xabi Alonso?
I was talking about.
You were talking about Xabi Alonso.
Xabi Alonso.
I think Xabi Alonso would be a good fit in those clubs.
Oh,
Xavi from
Xavi.
Barcelona, not so much. Where were you going? Xabi Alonso?
No, I said Xabi.
Xavi.
Xabi.
Okay, so maybe I took that wrong.
I think you
My
did.
apologies. Anyway,
Yes. Not
Right.
not this. Yeah.
my apologies. I thought we were going to, he's leaving Barcelona.
Not
and
the
gonna-
bald one. The one with the hair.
All right, let's
Yeah.
go with
all the one or the hair one.
let's
The
go.
good-looking one with the nice hair.
Let's
all good-looking.
Let's go with your Chelsea assessment and how your bet now is actually after today's game for Chelsea losing 4-2 to Wolves.
Yes.
You think they're going to finish lower than 11th?
Yes.
Danny and I think and Nate all said they may finish higher than 11th.
Yes.
So
11th or higher.
11th or higher. There you go. The floor is yours, my friend.
Okay. So the biggest thing for me is too many players you brought in that are big name people and a coach that's not a good player manager. He's a good tactician, but I don't think he is a very good player manager. And when you have a lot of egos and you got to find playing time for people, and this is why Klopp and Guardiola are very successful with what they can do and be at a club like that and bring in a lot of players and have depth.
Because they can manage big egos.
Yes. And I don't think Pochettino can do that. And it's just a crapshoot with an owner that just wants to spend money left and right and thinking that bringing in more talent and overpaying players is the answer, when the answer is you need to get some of those players out of there, and then you need a big manager that can manage players. And I don't think Ponch is that guy, because I don't think he had to really do that, quite say, in Tottenham, because it was always, well, he never had the depth. He never had the depth. They needed the guys, from the bench that, that could come on and make a difference. He didn't have as big of a bench, and he did what he could, and he got to a Champions League final, which is pretty darn good, but he's not a man manager, hence why I think he does get canned, like Danny said, and I think this is why Chelsea finishes 11th or lower, because you have to manage players, and when things don't go well in the locker room and people start teaming up together and they start, going against the manager and everything, it just goes awry very quickly.
Okay. All right. Good thoughts, Nate. Where did Chelsea finish, or does Poch
11th or higher is the bet, right?
Yeah, I mean, you, me, and Danny think they finish 11th, or
and currently right now they sit 7 points above 12th.
Mm-hmm.
And there's 8 winnable games in their schedule. 8 easy winnable games, not to mention your fluke.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Okay, there's 8 easy winnable games that I would say in their schedule. Palace, Brentford, Burnley, Sheffield, Everton.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Villa.
Wait, whoa!
Whoa! No, just kidding. Forest, Bournemouth, and you got Brighton and West Ham kicking around there that I think one of those could.
Depending on the day, could be an easy win or a tough loss, right?
Not including a Newcastle, which is hot or cold.
Yep.
And, Man United come in, and you never know what's going to happen there. I hate to say it like that. That could be a draw, a win easy.
Yep.
Okay, so you have that. Then you have Brooks' theory of he's not a good manager, Pochettino's not a manager, and he'll get fired. Sure, fine. Actually, that will actually help the case, because what always happens when a
new manager bounce,
boom, and then all of a sudden, fashoom, especially when you have a roster like that that's super inflated. So everyone goes, now's my new chance, now's my restart, right? Yep. And that's where that new manager bounce happens, especially when you have a very inflated roster. So if anything, if Ponch gets fired, that actually is going to help Chelsea stay around, I don't know, 9th, 10th, 11th, somewhere around there, maybe even 8th, and that's as far as they're going to go. I'm not saying these guys are going to rise up the table or anything like that, but I just think they'll be better than 11th. Or 11th or better.
Yeah, I personally think Poch stays in charge. I think he wants the job, and I think the executives and Todd Bowley have learned their lesson. They let a manager go. They brought Graham Potter in. They let him go. They brought Lampard in. That was a disaster. 0 for 11 on that. And I think they've said, okay, who's out there? Who can we forward? Who can we say, take this club forward? I think Poch is still the man. There's still growing pains. We saw at the beginning of the year it was a struggle. Then in and around November, December, oh, wow, okay, they're playing well. They've got some players in here. They're finally getting going. Now they're on a little bit of a dip again. They're on a little bit of a slide. I think they will come out of this slide because they really do have the players. Cole Palmer is a beast in the midfield. That kid can play. I really like him. Chilwell's back. I think that's a great new addition to the team because he's been injured for most of the year. And Christopher Nkunku is finally getting some minutes on the field. Once he gets up to speed with how this league works and the system of what Poch wants, I think that will be a good thing. I think they will most likely finish in around 8th or 9th. Out of the European spots, as we know, that's 1 through 7. That's Champions League and Europa. I think they finish 8th or 9th. I think Poch stays in charge, and then they sell a couple players in the summer and buy a couple players that really fit into his system, and I think it'll work out well. Prediction, it's on record there, but that's where I think it's going to go.
Brooks is so unhappy with you right now.
What do I get?
Rumbling. In Brooks' dream world, Chelsea just explodes in a fury of fire, and then Bowley dies of shitting himself too much or something. toilet.
Yeah.
You know, he's just like
Elvis.
yes,
Like Elvis. Yes, he does.
yes, that's what you get for having money and spending it.
Yes.
Yes.
Which?
So what do I get when I win?
What do you get? I don't even know. Did we even pick a bet? We'll find something. We'll find
Okay.
something because right now it could happen, and I don't think anybody right now is leading the way. So it's we'll figure it out.
When I lost my bet, I had to go get Wendy's from a girl that what was her name again? I can't remember.
Jana?
No, Wendy's. The
Why, I don't know.
You haven't fulfilled the bet. I
I
still
brought in my
want a
Wendy's.
Baconator.
I brought in the Wendy's like I was supposed
I
to.
didn't get Wendy's.
When?
Well, you know, you guys run around.
You brought it in and ate it yourself with Danny. Anyway,
I
all
thought
right.
you were supposed to take everyone to a steak dinner, and Victor and I were supposed to be the drivers.
I don't know.
They
We
serve
need to
steak
figure
at
that out.
Wendy's?
You know what? We do need to figure that out. Nate's going to take Danny and I to Wendy's, and Brooks is going to drive by, and that'll be suffice. There we go. All right, let's get to the last game of the weekend here before we talk about tomorrow's. Manchester United 3, West Ham United 0. Garnacho with a brace.
Got lucky.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know about got lucky. I think this was a very routine win. I thought West Ham were a little poor, if I'm being
West
honest.
Ham had their opportunities though. Let's not.
There was one by Emerson. The game was 1-0, and Maguire misses the ball. Emerson goes in 1-on-1 with Onana. And this was before we left to go to my son's game, who plays for the Michigan Jags. Thank you, Michigan Jags. Before we left to go to that game today, we were watching this, and I paused the game, and I told my son, I'm like, watch this. Watch. The defender makes a mistake. The forward, the onrushing forward here, takes advantage. All he has to do is put the ball on frame. You got to make the goalie make a save. Get the goalie to make a save. You put it on frame. The goalie could fall over. The goalie could miss it. It could go in. The goalie could save it, and it comes right back to you, and then you have another shot. But what did Emerson do? He freaking blazed the ball wide left, well wide left on a shot. The goal came. What happens then? It's a goal kick. Onana takes a goal kick. 60 seconds later, the ball goes up the field. Now, Garnacho takes a shot. It takes a deflection, and it goes into the back of the West Ham's net. Down 2-0. Could have been 1-1, but because he didn't put the ball on frame, that changed the outcome for the entire game there. Right. What did Garnacho do? Gets the ball, runs at a defender, jinks in, shoots the ball, just shoots the ball in the vicinity of the goal, gets a little lucky with a deflection, takes the pass to goalkeeper. 2-0 Man United, game over. Sorry, Nate. I know you want to chat. I think this was a routine win. I think United played very well. Congratulations to them.
I'm not trying to shit on my team. You know what I mean? I'm just looking at the reality of the thing. The reality of the situation. You got your XG of 1.4 for West Ham and United's 0.75 expected goals. 22 total shots to 12. You know, and possession relatively the same. West Ham had their opportunities.
Yeah,
they did.
Yeah.
And they squandered them.
United made some hell of opportunities out of nothing.
Yeah, they did.
And-
Some
and-
great
and
goals.
good for them.
Hoyland's goal, that first goal
yeah.
was great, by the
And-
way, on his weaker right foot.
Hey, and you know what? He's starting to find form, which
Yeah.
is great.
Yep.
He just turned 21, and he's,
Today, you want to say happy birthday to him? There
Happy
you go.
birthday!
I'm
Yeah,
ready.
I know he's a listener, avid listener.
Avid listener of the show, Rasmus Hoyland.
You know, yeah, he's tuning in right now. You know, and that's I believe his third or fourth goal.
4 goals, 4 Premiership games in a row.
And
4th
so it
consecutive
looks
game
like
of the goal.
he's finally started to adjust to that pace
Yep.
and started to turn in the player that United hoped he would be and was waiting out.
Still a long way to go, I think,
So,
for the
I mean,
progression.
I'm not saying
but
he's there.
but
But it's start, like I said,
heading in the
starting.
direction. Heading in the direction they want him to go.
Starting.
Yep.
You know, Garnacho, looking great. Rashford didn't look bad. And at the end, I don't know if you saw the picture of after Garnacho scored his second goal, him
Mainu and
Well,
Highland
I know
sitting on the.
running up, sitting together, which could be if these guys at their age, you know, all like young 20s, you know, stay with the club for a long time, and
They're not the olds.
They're
not the
definitely not
olds.
the old.
They're not Johnny Evans.
They're the young ones.
They're not Johnny Evans.
Yeah.
Young ones. Hey, Victor will get that reference. They're the young ones.
You had old man Evans sitting there just sipping a coffee, going, "Ah, yeah, the good old day."
T.
Tea. Okay, yeah. Well, I
Or
don't- I
as
don't like tea.
Alex Morgan.
Yeah.
So,
Pinky out.
Think
we'll see. You know, with those three, but if they could be, they could be 3 big staples of the club. If
Absolutely.
they can continue progressing the way they are. Unfortunately, Martinez went out.
You took my last bullet point off me there.
Because he can't stay
Lestrano
healthy.
Martinez, he played 3 games this year.
And looked great in all 3.
And then now he's out again.
Yeah, and the quote afterwards by Eric Ten Hag said it's a knee injury and it doesn't look good. So they're going to reassess in the coming days here. He could be out. I will say Maguire made a mistake or two, but other than that, he looked okay. The thing for me is, how come Varane cannot play more than 2 games in a week? I mean,
He's tired.
yeah, apparently. The 350,000 pounds a week he earns.
It weighs too much on him.
Yeah. Can he actually loan some of that money to Garnacho so he can get a haircut? That Garnacho kid needs a haircut.
How about loan
I
it
don't know who his barber is.
to get another center back in because Martinez has no knees apparently.
Yeah.
Which is no, it sucks. It's sad. It's sad because like he came in those 3 games, he was looking phenomenal, and the team looked better with him playing.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And he's absolutely a staple, and now who knows? He could be out for months again.
Yep.
Yeah,
it's going to be. We'll see. Scans coming in the next couple of days for Martinez. We got a comment here. Or?
I do. My buddy Andre. This goes back to Chelsea. This is what he says. I don't think the players are good enough, especially at the back part of the pitch, backline and holding midfielders.
I think.
Well, yeah, because your center backs are 42 years old.
Yes,
Yeah, well,
the olds.
39 to be honest. Thiago
Yes.
Silva's 39, I believe.
Yes.
38, 39. But Chilwell's coming back. I think he's good. They don't have Reece James at the moment. He's out injured.
Yeah.
The others that
He
you
wants
have
to
back there,
maybe
Diazy
leave.
is not good enough. You're right. I think Enzo Fernandez is a decent player. Moises Caicedo has been terrible this year. We'll grant you that. Moving up the pitch, Cole Palmer, phenomenal find at 40 million pounds, by the way. Worth his weight in gold. But no, yeah, he's right there. The back half of the field there, they're trash. They need a goalie as well. I don't trust the goalie at Chelsea.
Spine of the team's important.
Yeah, man. They got some work to do. Poch has some work to do. All right, last game of the match day weekend comes tomorrow. It is a 3:00 Eastern time kickoff. Brentford hosting Manchester City. I think we're expecting Kevin De Bruyne to be back here. Ivan Toney, as we know, is also back playing. If we're being honest, most likely what's going to happen is a 3-0 or a 3-1 win for Man City, if we're being really honest here. I think that's where this is going. I hate to say it, but I'm sorry. It is what it is. Man City going to do what Man City do every time at this point of the season. They're going to kick it into high gear. Now, there will be a flub here and there. If it is in this game, essentially, they're going to put themselves in a little bit of hole behind Chelsea. Liverpool and Arsenal. So, interesting to see.
Yeah. The Man City are going to get into the danger zone, as they say by Kenny Loggins.
Is that I don't know. Sure. Why not? I don't know where you're going with that. All
Kick it
right.
in high gear,
Yeah.
Never mind.
All right. We did talk about, kick it into high gear. Was that a name of a song or something?
No, it's not, but never mind. I tried.
Straight over my head there, guys. Straight over my head. Apologies. All right. There's we mentioned it. We mentioned Bayern Munich. We've mentioned Bayer Leverkusen. We haven't mentioned Stuttgart. But oh boy, it's time for a little Bundesliga chat time here, folks. You know what? I'm sorry. We used to have music for Bundesliga chat time. We may need to bring that back.
When it's late at night and you're bored as hell and the show's gone on too long, it's Bundesliga chat time with Craig and Brooks.
And Nate
in the back.
in the background. I
Danny
can't
far
believe
away.
you remembered all those lyrics to the song.
Hey, man.
It's a hit tune, my friend.
Hey, so let's just look at some of the things that some people might actually be interested in.
Yeah, go with it.
So
Let's go.
U.S. men's national team or former U.S. men's national team player, because you'll never play again, Jonathan Brooks, was able to. So some of the U.S. men's national team callouts here. Jonathan Brooks played a full 90, actually completed most passes in a 2-2 draw with Huffenham. It's almost like if they needed a left-footed center back, Brooks.
I
A
know.
left-footed center back named Jonathan Brooks, who, I don't know, would complete the most passes in a 4-back system for a top-end European team. He could be one, but,
You never know.
Berhalter. Moving on to other players who actually play. Padres played a full 90.
created the most chances in that same match against playing against Jonathan Brooks there with his and also joined up with one Joe Scully, also played a full 90 as well. So he had 3 American players, one game with a 2-2 draw, Wolfsburg against Hoffenheim. Oh my gosh. John Maloney played a full 90 minutes with a 0-0 draw against the Dortmund team.
Okay.
Who,
nice.
is great because that actually helps solidify Stuttgart's, reign at the top there.
We'll show the table in a second here, Nate.
Yeah,
once you
yeah,
get through some of those these quick hitters, go for it. Keep going, sir.
Unfortunately, and we talked about the historic occasion of 2 Englishmen, Eric Dyer and one Harry Kane, who actually scored in the 3-1 win versus PFOC, and who had an assist.
Okay.
Playing against Gladbach in the only goal they had there. He played a full 90 with an assist. He'll never play again, though, because why there, Brooks?
Greg Berhalter.
Greg Berhalter. Yeah. And then just rounding it off in the League 2 action, because I found this very interesting.
Oh.
Why are you laughing?
Bundesliga 2.
Is it St. Pauli or is it Julian Green?
Not only Julian Green, but you know who else plays on that team for Firth? Dietz, who's played his 16th game. Both him played a full 90, and he plays on the 2023. Maximilian Dietz.
All right.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yes.
All right.
He's played a full 90, played center back.
Very
Played a
nice.
full 90, about 16th match he had for that season. Firth is actually knocking on the door for promotion, and that'd be great for Green and Dietz, because the fact is, Berhalter doesn't know how to look at anything with a 2 after it when it comes to League 2. He just doesn't understand.
Register.
It doesn't register. And for those who are interested, before we get on to the Stuttgart triumphs, the Pokal is going on.
Yes, explain. We all know the
It
Pokal.
is
It's
the
comparable to
FA Cup
It's not a
or
dance.
the Open Cup. It's not the dance.
Yes.
It's kind of like base. Just kidding. It's
Thanks.
more. It's like the FA Cup.
Yeah.
It's more like the Open Cup where all the teams can go in. What's insane about this, if you really are a fan of underdogs, right now this year, this year is absolutely the year to be watching this German DFB Pokal tournament because of the 8 teams remaining.
Say 6 of them?
The 8 teams remaining.
Yeah.
3 are first team.
Yep.
Stuttgart, Leverkusen, and Gladbach.
Bundesliga, yep.
1 is a third team.
That's incredible. A Division 3 team?
Schlottenbach, which will play Gladbach next week.
Oh.
And unfortunately, Stuttgart will probably lose to Leverkusen.
I feel like Schlotterbeck should play for Schlottenbach.
Schlotterbeck.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Leverkusen, Stuttgart drew Leverkusen. And they're probably gonna lose because it
should be a good game though.
Yeah, it should be a good game. We'll see. So and the other 2 or 4 teams, but now it's down to 2, were Division 2 teams.
Nice.
So the final is really shaping up to be a Division 2 team.
This is
versus
the year,
a Division 1
of the underdogs right now.
And all the Bundesliga teams, if they got matched up with lower division, have to go lower division team, right? That's how it works.
They don't have to. It's random draw.
It's how
okay. I thought they did that until a certain round.
Nope. It just so happens the 8 remaining teams.
Okay.
Just luck of the draw and who beat who. And Schlotterbach actually beat Munich.
You did.
So who knows? They could be moving on.
Who knows?
Playing Gladbach. We'll see. So
was it a slaughtering?
Slaughtering. All right, let's go ahead and put. Sorry, Nate. I was going to put.
Dieseldorf and Klatterstaden. They were the 2 teams that actually went forward against St. Pauli, who are at the top of the table, and Hertha Berlin at the top of the table. So it's really shaping up to be a complete underdog showing at the Pokal, and it's just fun to watch.
Things you love to see. Underdogs getting a lot.
Yep.
And from my understanding, FC St. Pauli has never been to the Bundesliga before, right?
I thought like a million years ago.
Long time ago.
But and they're sitting actually St. Pauli, and speaking of Division 2, St. Pauli is undefeated in Division 2.
That's impressive.
They have not lost a single game. They've drawn a ton, but they have not lost a single game.
They are the Bayer Leverkusen of Division 2.
They are the Bayern Leverkusen of Division 2 right now.
Or the Nashville SC of the MLS years ago.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, let's put up that Bundesliga table for you here, Nate. Bayer Leverkusen, 20 games into the season, 52
Won again.
points.
Have not lost yet.
Have not lost. 16 wins, 4 draws. That's incredible. Bayern Munich, second, 16-2-2 on 50 points, 2 points behind. Stuttgart, 13 wins, 1 draw, 6 losses on 40.
So if there's a game to watch,
Yes, sir.
and then we'll touch base a little bit on the Stuttgart and move away because everyone's falling asleep right now. Okay, I get it. But I'm going to tell you right now, if you want a great game to watch,
Leverkusen is hosting Munich Saturday
That'd be a good one.
at 12:30.
Wow.
Isn't that
that's going to be
that
a
a
good one.
derby?
It's not a derby.
No. Don't they play at the same arena?
No.
No, they don't. Okay.
Someone's going to have to put a reminder on the Facebook group,
Yeah.
We Are Soccer
12:30
Facebook group,
Saturday.
because 12:30 Saturday,
Yeah.
put your calendars, set this for your calendars now, folks. ESPN Plus,
Yeah.
we've got Leverkusen versus Munich.
And
Number 1 versus number 2.
Number 1, number 2, and this is
what a game.
Absolutely. This is I don't want to say must win.
Can you
this right here will either put Leverkusen 5 points ahead,
Yes.
or Munich 1 point ahead. That's exactly what we got going on.
Interesting.
Or still stay the same.
And we're all rooting for Bayer Leverkusen,
oh
right?
right, you better be.
We don't want Munich to
Except
win.
for Renardo down there going.
Oh, Renato.
You had 10 years of success. Give somebody else a chance. Damn it.
Renato of Next Level Training is a
Munich
big
fan?
Bayern Munich fan.
Oh, he's a
yeah,
I know
he
that.
is,
Oh, yeah.
So
I'm rooting for a 3-2 Bayer Leverkusen win, 2 goals from Harry Kane. Just saying.
You got the talent of Munich versus possibly the smartest coach or best coach in Europe right now. Arguably
it.
with the schedule, because Leverkusen doesn't. I mean, they got a solid team. They got a decent team. They got some great players. They got some players that'll probably be sold, but they don't have a star-studded team like Munich does.
Right.
And so that is literally the underdog match. Last time they played, there was 2-2 at Munich earlier in the season. So now Munich's going to Leverkusen, and that match, I'm predicting a very wild match, and my heart is going to say I'm doing a Brooks here with Chelsea getting relegated or whatever he thinks.
Bayern's getting relegated.
Bayern's getting relegated. You're right. No, I'm hoping for a 2-1 Leverkusen win.
Okay.
I could see it.
I'm hoping for it. We'll see it.
Wait.
Pull them 5 points ahead. They're going to be hot to trot.
After they lose upsettingly, they'll get their first loss of the year against Stuttgart on Tuesday. Probably not, but one can hope. So let's touch a bit. 2 seconds on Stuttgart.
Go for it.
And we'll just move on.
Yeah.
Please
if
do it.
we could. Stuttgart still sitting in third.
Yep.
Still sitting pretty. Had some hiccups.
10 points back, but they're still sitting in third.
Yep, had some hiccups, coming off winter break, but they've kind of rallied and they beat the hell out of Leipzig 5-2, and then they pounded Freiburg 3-1.
Wow.
What's more impressive, I always look at, when you look at a table, I always go, all right, if this team's legit, you should have a good goals for and against. If you look at them, you should go, their goals and for and against are better than the people below them. They're sitting at plus 20.
Can't argue with that, man, after 20 games.
They're sitting at plus 20.
That's great.
Dortmund's plus 14. Below them, Leipzig plus 18.
Wow.
I think they're gonna do it.
I think they could do it.
And here's the other thing. Their talisman,
Has been injured.
no, Glossary, has been sitting over playing in the African Cup.
That's why he's been
That's
gone.
right. Yeah, he's been in Africa.
So then who picked up the slack?
He
now?
was injured in December for
He
a
was
bit.
injured
Yeah,
in
now he's
December a
AFCON,
little
yep.
bit. So then who comes in and picks up the slack? Dennis Undave. Undave, who's been being checked out by the national team and absolutely should be, because when you then pull it out and you look at player stats, you got Harry Kane sitting up the top, 24 goals, Glyceray 17, Opedina 14, Undave 13.
That's nutty.
Here's the other difference.
You need to start spreading the goals around, though.
Opedina has 14 goals, right? 2 of them are penalty. Glyceray has 17. 3 of them are penalty. Undave, 13. 0 penalty.
Nice.
You adjust for penalties?
He's the leading goal scorer.
He's second right behind Harry Kane.
So we are really rocking and rolling.
It's going to be crazy when they get Glyceray back and how they're going to manage that and how they should manage that, because they normally don't play with 2 forwards, but hell, why not? 4-4-2, Greg, maybe.
Yeah, here comes 4-4-2 again.
No, they play with 3 backs. But
Ooh.
they have the firepower. And below them, you got assists. You got Fullerich, who's kicking on, is doing very, very well with assists.
And they just picked up De Hoond
Well-
from Brighton to Holborth.
Yeah, he came back, right?
He came back. He played
Yeah.
14 games. It didn't work for him in the Premier League.
Yeah.
They saw it early on, but he's still a young player, still a young defensive midfielder.
Sorry.
And
At
prior to that,
28, he's still young.
28-ish is 27, 28
Yeah.
is it's I'm sorry, it's not young.
Not an old.
He's in his prime.
He's not an MLS young at 34. So
Fair enough.
sorry,
Fair enough.
he's youngish. Yeah.
Throwing those
throwing
darts.
shade.
Throwing
Yeah,
those
okay.
darts. Throwing those
Yeah.
darts.
Anywho,
Any chance
but
you
he
get.
was the year prior. He was a starter over at Dortmund.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yes, he was. Yes.
He was a starter at Dortmund. He went over to Brighton. Didn't work out for him at Brighton for whatever reason. Back in the Bundesliga, a league he did well in.
Yes.
I would predict him actually probably being a good rotational player, if not starter for Stuttgart.
Well, Nate, I tell you what, we're all rooting for Stuttgart to at least.
We are.
Hell yeah, baby.
Keep there, stay there, get into that Champions League spot, stick, and it looks like they can do it. They're going to do it.
While we're on the subject, Granada versus Leverkusen, which is the better story since we're getting to segue?
Well, I was about
Girona.
to say you,
Not Granada.
Girona.
you took
Not the
it out.
other
You
G.
took. That's where we're going, my friend.
Yeah.
I'm going to transition right now. So, all right. So listen. As you just saw, it's Bayer Leverkusen who are leading the way in the Bundesliga. In La Liga, you've got Girona who are leading the way ahead of Real Madrid. What's the bigger story this year? What if one of those wins their respective league? Which is the bigger story? Someone put this. I forget who it was. Put this on our Facebook group, and
It was Joe.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
I thank you for putting that
Joe,
on there.
Joe Larkin.
That's it, Joe Larkin.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Joe, for pushing that. Great
Yes.
question, by the way. Yeah, what's a bigger story? I put my little spin on that on the Facebook group in the comments. I think it's Girona, personally. I think they are the bigger story if they win La Liga, out-dueling Real Madrid and Barcelona, Atletico. But you can't deny Bayer Leverkusen, who don't have a freaking loss at the moment, right? I mean, incredible what they've done, leading Bayern Munich, who've gone out and spent a ton of money, $100 million on a striker. I mean, come on. But boys, what a story this is for both these clubs.
Yes.
What's more of an accomplishment?
Girona is 2 points behind Madrid right now, currently. Just to let you know. So the
They haven't.
standing,
I think have they played?
they've played the same games. So it's 58 points for Madrid, 56 for Girona.
Okay,
And at the time the question was posted,
Exactly.
they were ahead. Yeah,
Correct.
So
yes.
let's live in
Well,
the
yeah.
fantasy world that they're still ahead,
Yep.
or maybe
Yeah.
could.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be great for Leverkusen. I think they're going to win the Pokal for sure. I don't see a team beating them there. You look at who's left; they're gonna beat. Unfortunately, I think I'll be surprised if they don't beat Stuttgart, and they'll roll through everyone else. So that will be the first trophy ever that they won in history. Huge accomplishment. However, if both teams were win the league, I would say Girona is a much bigger accomplishment because they're playing in like a 15,000 person stadium. They were 10th in League 2 years ago. Leverkusen's always kind of kicked around top 4, top 5. So they've always been on the upper, not always, but for several years been on the upper end of that table. And they had a couple marquee players that have stayed. Florian Wirtz being one of them.
Yep. The knock on Girona is though because that they are owned by they're owned by Citigroup, right? So they get the city, not really money, but the city, the scouts and all the notes and all that good stuff. That's the knock. In my opinion, I don't care.
And
It's
then
the
I would
players on the
challenge
field.
anyone who says that to go ahead and name one person on that team outside of the center back, who I can't think of right now, that played for United. His name's just escaped me. The center back who.
Hey, Daily Blind plays
Yeah,
for that
that's
team.
the Daily Blind. Outside of Daily Blind.
I love how you're like, I
outside
can't
of-
really
I can't
think
even
of
think of
it.
it.
Oh, hey,
Outside of
Daily
Daily
I'm
Blind.
looking at the roster right now.
Outside of
Yeah.
thank you for outside of Daily Blend, who some United fan would be Daily Blend. Okay, cool. Outside of Daily Blend, you name me anyone on that roster,
Right.
and I will yield to that. Okay. However, everyone knows, and if you follow the Bundesliga or a little bit, even the German national team, everyone knows who Florian Wirtz is.
Yeah.
Everyone knows who Tells is. Vermoping has been, talked about a transfer constantly. So people know who some of these guys are that play for Leverkusen. And I'm saying this as even a Bundesliga fan who normally would side with that no, you can't even name anyone on that Girona team.
Yeah.
You can't.
No.
No one knows who they are.
Yeah, got a lot of loanees. They do have some.
No one knows who they are.
No one does. They got some Barcelona guys. They have one from Man City, Fulham. Daily Blend is a loan, I believe.
There's a guy who used to play for New York FC that got loaned out there and then stayed on a permanent.
Oh, yeah.
I only know this because
Was
I
it
was watching.
Castellanos?
Castellanos, the Golden Boot winner for the MLS 3 years ago.
Yeah.
But nobody knows that.
But then he moved. He moved to another team in La Liga, I think. I think someone bought him.
Can't remember now.
But that makes sense because he was a part of Citigroup at NYCFC, but someone bought him.
I agree, though. I think it's Girona's the biggest one because of the lack of big names they have. You're right, Nate. And I don't care that they have the city scouting and all this. This money hasn't even been really spent. So, great question. For other questions like that and some great pieces, visit the We Are Soccer Facebook group, man.
They're actually kind of old, to be honest with you. They have a lot of guys in their mid to upper 30s. I mean, they have some young guys, but
Hey, now.
that's pretty.
Oh, hey, that's not old.
They got some of the olds here.
What's he talking?
Hey,
That's
whoa,
not
whoa,
old.
hey,
That's not
Yeah.
Hey,
old.
why don't we just back that train up there?
Hey, there's
Hey.
no-
Soccer terms, it is.
throw my shoe at you, man. I'm gonna throw my shoe at you over there. But yeah, let us know, guys, who you think. What's the bigger accomplishment? Bayer Leverkusen winning the Bundesliga or Girona winning La Liga? By the way, today,
Right, Castellanos, my buddy Andre said, moved to Lazio.
Lazio.
Yes.
Oh, that's right.
Good move for him.
Is that in the summer?
It might have been. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Andre.
Yeah, man. Appreciate that.
Yes.
You know, we have got some good stuff in our Facebook group. I tell you what, there's some great questions.
We got a lot of
in there,
soccer
man.
knowledge in our Facebook
Yeah.
group, and there are some good conversations we have on post.
I had to explain the other day. So I told them we had 1.8. You know, we got 1,800 people in the group, and they're like, "Well, that's not that big." I'm like, "No. We make it so that we don't let idiots into this thing." Lindsey
How'd I get in?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Did he,
But me and you, because we're the village idiots, according
Yeah.
to Victor.
Lindsey Horan doesn't
Hey.
realize that she's not allowed in it.
Oh.
Shots thrown. But no, it's a curated group. We make sure that the posts in there are relevant, and anybody who causes trouble, we kick them out. So if you're not on the group, join it. It's some great soccer knowledge and discussion. By the way, Real Madrid today drew with Atletico 1-1. Atletico scored with about a minute left in the match. I think it was the 94th minute, 95th minute. Really good game, by the way. Unique situation happened. Atletico scored in the 45th minute. Ball comes in from a corner kick. A header goes in, but there's a player standing in an offside position. It was a strange one. Nobody realized what was going on. Diego Simeone went nuts when he figured out that. Decent game. Bellingham didn't really have he kind of lost a little form at the moment. Yes, Brooke?
Comment. So my buddy Andre is commenting. So between
You don't have to tell us your buddies every time, you know.
well, you know,
We get it. You got friends. Real cool.
I do. I do.
None of my buddies.
Yeah.
I don't have friends.
Well, Victor was commenting earlier.
Victor and I aren't friends, on not after what he said.
So between the Leverkusen and Girona, he says, for me, it's Girona. I don't think we expected them to be here. Leverkusen were good and moving in the right direction when Xabi Alonso took over and put his stamp on it.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. No one expected Girona to be where they are.
Yeah.
Incredible run they've been on. And it's not like it's luck or anybody else is down. They're just chugging along, doing what they do. I fully expect them to be in the top 2 towards the end here. So, yeah, and you're right about Bayer Leverkusen. They've always been in around the top 4 or 5. Now they're just really humming along. So, really good to see there. All right, I got 2 more topics I really want to get to. Lionel Messi being booed in Hong Kong, and who is moving to Real Madrid in the summer. We'll talk about that right after this.
Change tempo, yes, drop out, good. Yes, touch play, right foot, yes. Scan, good. Touch in, play, drop your hip, right, yes, good scan. Yes. Jay, well done. Good side on touch. Play, see it, yes.
right, friends, welcome back. Thanks. As you saw, Next Level Training there. One of those videos contained Dwan Jones, the New England Revolution player from right here in Michigan State. Good dude, good kid, man. He is getting going with New England again here as the MLS season is about to fire up. I think all the players are heading back for preseason. All right. Speaking of preseason, Inter Miami are on world tour at the moment.
Haven't lost a game, right?
No, they've lost all of them except for one, and the one that they did win didn't have their main players in it. Messi and Suarez sat on the bench when they played against the Hong Kong 11. And Messi and Suarez didn't get off the bench and were the entire club was roundly booed, by the way.
Yes.
I mean...
How many people showed up for that game to see Messi? But he's injured.
Yeah, well, all right, so hold on. What we need to do is we need to preface this by saying he has played in the last several games.
Yes.
Right? He's played in the last several games. He's played 20, 30, 60, 80 minutes in some of these games. He's done a training session the other day where 50,000 people showed up.
Oh, yes.
50,000 people showed up to watch him train.
Yes.
All of a sudden today he gets up and he has a shoulder contusion and a little bit of a hamstring soreness, so the doctors held him out. The fans, you gotta know, the fans showed up to watch him, right? They showed up to watch him, and they were pissed. They all started chanting the word refund. Yeah, so
Just like the MLS gave the refund when he didn't show up to those games.
Yeah, the MLS, the Hong Kong government is the Chinese government is now looking into what went on, what's going on. They may have to give some money back to promoter. So yeah, not good. By the way, they lost. Was it 6-0 to Al Nassr the other day?
That's Ronaldo's team, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
I'll let you fuck. We know.
Yeah, I'll let you fuck. What do we know about this? Yeah, they're not looking good, by the way.
It's not looking good for the league.
No.
The 2024-2025 MLS champion can't win a friendly.
I don't think they're gonna win the
They
championship.
went 0-2 in the Saudi league. Al Hilal and Al Nassr beat the Al Attifaq out of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Al Attifaq is the name of a team over there, by the way.
That's Steven Gerrard coaches. Yes.
Yeah, Steven Gerrard's
I mean,
team.
I'm just saying
Al
that-
Attifaq.
Clearly, the script is already written. 2024-2025. Inter Miami has already won the championship.
Yeah.
And they can't win a preseason game. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's actually they're playing poorly right now.
You know, they should buy some more Barcelona players or former Barcelona
should.
players.
You know, it's funny. I mean, this is the thing. Obviously, David Beckham was used to with him and going to preseason and everything. But obviously, preseason is much different in European clubs than it is in America because you have an extended period in the summertime rather than these short weeks in the wintertime before MLS kicks off. But it's rather interesting that you've never seen any other team like LAFC or LA Galaxy do this before.
I've seen Cincinnati's rocking it down in Florida. They on a 2-3 game preseason win streak.
Yes, but I mean the marketing ploy that, I mean, this is Beckham at its finest, though.
It's Beckham and Messi and Inter Miami.
Yeah, because this is what's going to attract people to watch.
Being used by MLS to attract more. And MLS, they have said, we'll let you change the rules and bring this man in here.
Yes.
But by the way, you're going to head around the world and support
FC Cincinnati is literally playing in a closed field unaired, in clear water, and by the way, it's pure training field that they're playing on. You see the whole goals on wheels type thing.
Nobody, 50,000 people aren't showing up to watch them train.
I think they're done on IMG.
Don't think they're allowed.
Yeah,
correct. But I don't know. I don't know if this is the right. You can't do this at another time. That's the problem. To do this whole marketing tour, you can only do it before the MLS season. I mean, you're not doing it after. So, I don't know. I don't know if this was the right decision. I don't know. It was a tough one for me.
Right. Probably a topic for another day I'd like to delve into, actually. So, you're right. All right. Last real topic of the night, boys. Kylian Mbappe, sources have said he is going to be moving to Real Madrid this summer. He signed an extension to his contract with PSG this past summer after flirting with moving. He signed. Real Madrid were pissed. We all thought that, no, this is never going to happen. Now the rumors are that he will be leaving. He has confirmed with his agent and friends around him that he will be going to Real Madrid this summer. Now, this comes on the heels of Carlo Ancelotti about a month ago signing an extension to his contract. Yep. He was due to leave. We all thought he was going to be the Brazil manager after this summer, after the season ends. But he signs an extension. He's staying. And now a couple of weeks later, we're finding Kylian Mbappe is also going. So maybe that all ties together.
So happy.
Yeah, this makes you happy?
I'm so happy.
Well, you're happy because now you're going to get to see one of the best players in the world play in a league that's not.
Well, I'm happy because I want to hear Brooks talk. Go, Brooks.
Oh.
Me?
Yeah. Why
Oh,
don't
I
you say
mean,
something?
I don't think it's ruled out that Mr. Erling Haaland may leave Man City, right? Isn't that still possible?
I don't see that happening.
Only if they get relegated in Danny's fantasy fever dream that he's
Yes.
having right now.
Oh,
Where it's
is it
like,
that?
Okay.
Are you?
City gets relegated. Actually, justice is done in this world, and then all of a sudden, Russia stops invading Ukraine at the same time. It's all crazy, hand in hand. We love each other,
And then Danny wakes up.
and then Danny wakes up.
Danny wakes
Yeah,
up.
Yeah.
No, he ain't leaving there.
No.
Were you going to go down a path that Haaland could be heading towards Real Madrid?
Wasn't that? Yeah, that's
I mean,
it.
I could see that, honestly, in all seriousness, I could see that happening in a few years, just not now.
Sure.
Not
Yeah,
not on
not
the same
now.
not on the
Not the
same
same
year,
summer.
you know.
They can't. He's under contract.
Which is not the same
Haaland's
year.
under
You're not going to pick up two
okay.
$100 million players and yeah. Anyways, I am ecstatic that Mbappe is finally going to a real club
To win real things.
to do real things.
Yes.
And-
Not win the baguettes in the French league.
Ooh.
And honestly,
Baguette competition's a tough one.
I said it in the 2022 World Cup that it's a shame that he doesn't play for a real league.
Mm-hmm.
When you're watching this guy play, he's phenomenal.
It's incredible.
I'm not even a Madrid fan. I don't care. But like, I don't care about the team. I'm just happy for the player that he's finally going to go to a real club, a real team. It's good. They're going to look sweet with Jude Bellingham and him and Vinicius Jr. That team's going to be awesome. You know.
Yes.
Sorry.
I was just going to say, like, I still say that he was man of the match, man of the tournament in the 2022 World Cup. They just couldn't give it to him because, you know.
Lionel Messi.
Yeah.
Anywho, but he put France on his back and single-handedly did everything he could for them to win that game.
Yeah.
Everything he could. So it's awesome. And I'm excited for him. And I'm excited for football. It's going to be great.
Yeah, I think it's a
It'll
good
be
thing.
fun.
It's a great thing for the Champions League and for the world to see him play in a real league consistently.
So, question for you two. You know, the Beckham effect when he left, a Man U for Real Madrid. Will this be an Mbappe effect where from PSG to now Real Madrid?
What do you mean? Like,
Will they have the same effect? Because, I mean, besides Messi, can we say that he is probably the next big, and maybe, Ronaldo's fading a little bit, that Mbappe is really the next big branded player out there that, people covet?
I don't think he is just because of where he's at right now. He will be now
will
that he's
be.
at
Will be.
Madrid.
He will
be
Yeah.
now that he's at Madrid. But I think his brand has been, and I hate talking about brands like this
As a person, but he is, yeah.
with
Sure.
players because I
Yes.
think it's just shitty.
Yes.
But I think he will be a bigger brand in a year.
Yeah.
Playing.
I
at
mean,
Madrid.
we'll definitely see more Real Madrid Mbappe jerseys,
Oh
in
my
my opinion,
gosh.
in
Oh, yeah.
America.
Oh, yes.
In America, we will.
yeah.
Yeah.
You already see quite a few kids walking around
The
with the
PSG
Mbappe
ones.
PSG jersey,
Yeah.
right?
But I think
You
you'll
don't see
have
so many
more.
France ones, but you do. Yeah, no, I agree. I think it'll be
Yeah.
a top-selling jersey.
Yeah.
I mean, Real Madrid, back when the Beckham era was there, they were the Galacticos. They had Zidane, Ronaldo, Roberto Carlos. I mean, just
Casillas.
I
know he's not a jersey seller,
Oh
but,
no, but man, it was the Galacticos, the stars among the players, right? It was just stars among stars. It was brilliant. It was so fun to watch, and I think they're getting back towards that a little bit. Obviously, Mbappe is a star in the world. He'll be going there. Bellingham's there. Vinicius Jr.'s there.
Rodrigo.
There you go, yep.
Yeah, I mean, listen, man, they're getting back. It costs a lot more money these days, but
Courtois will be back at some
once
point.
Courtois gets back and healthy again, for sure, he's one of the best in the world.
Rudiger.
Yeah, Antoine Rudiger, brilliant player, by
It
the way.
was a good move for Rudiger to move from
Yes,
Chelsea
yes.
to Real Madrid.
So it's going to be
He
fun
should
to
move back to
watch.
Stuttgart,
Where he started.
where he started.
Where he started, yes.
So he can win a Bundesliga title?
Yes.
Yes.
It's going to be fun to watch, but obviously the odds-on favorite will be Real Madrid to win La Liga and win Champions League. It will
And
be
everything.
and everything.
Are you sure it's not Girona?
Yeah, Girona. No, sorry, they're gonna.
Okay.
Nobody will have a chance. It will be a complete failure if they do not win the Champions League with that squad, though. Like an absolute failure. If they don't.
So more pressure. So Galacticos first now. More pressure. Who has more pressure?
Ooh, that's a great question. The Galacticos were
They didn't do well.
They were always under so much pressure. No.
Because they didn't win the league, and they didn't win the league until Beckham's last year before he went to MLS,
Yeah,
right?
they were always under so much pressure, and they kept swapping out managers. They just swapped them out after like a 2 or 3 game losing streak. It was unbelievable. That's a great question. I think back then was more pressure. Yeah, there was just the expectancy, not only to win, but win in style. The league was so far behind compared to now.
Sure.
Now you've got 4 or 5 different teams that can compete against them properly. Back then, it was just one. It was Barca.
Yep.
But yeah, no, great question. I'd love to know what other people's thoughts are there.
What do you think, Nate?
Time will tell. I think you have a lot of young talent with this team currently, and we'll see. But as far as pressure, I mean, I don't know. It's Madrid. I mean, you look at it's almost like expected that they're going to be in a Champions League final nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's his name still runs the club, right? The same guy, the president?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perez, Florentino Perez.
So is that pressure versus when you're inside looking out versus outside looking in? You know what I mean? Like,
It's pressure no matter how you look at it, right? I mean, it's going to be inside and outside because we all just expect it.
You look at the Champions League, right? Like, they've been sitting there almost in every final. Like, they've won it 21, 17, 18, 16, 17, 15, 16, 13, 14. These last few years they've been the team. To be in the final 8 there. So.
Yeah. Agreed.
I think when you bring in a player of this size, and I'm not saying that they've not been not relevant, but kind of since Bale and Ronaldo have moved on a little bit, they've kind of tried to find their footing again a little bit of dominance.
Yep.
And I don't know. I think the expectations are the first year Mbappe comes in that they're expected to win, the treble, the Copa del Rey, the league, and then Champions League.
They should be expected with those players and the money they're paying those players, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
and then the quadruple, the FIFA World Cup. Don't forget that.
Oh,
the Club World Cup,
Club
right?
World Cup.
Yeah.
I mean, don't forget they did pay $105 million for Jude Bellingham, right?
Yes.
I mean, that's a lot of money.
Yes.
That's a lot of money for a player.
Is he any good?
Oh yeah. So according to Kellen Acosta, Kellen Acosta said Jude Bellingham, in his opinion, is probably the best player in the world this year.
Yeah.
So I can't argue with that. I can't argue. I can't argue with the professional.
The only thing that's going to be an issue is he's not going to win the Ballon d'Or, and it's going to go to Messi in the MLS.
In the MLS, yes, in the MLS.
So that's how you know the award has become a major joke.
Yeah, that's how I know that the award is completely honest, and no matter what you do in your
I am
career,
an MLS fan, and I love the league, but it is, I mean, if it was like a young 22-year-old just dominating pure dominance and,
agreed,
breaking records left and right in MLS, sure.
No.
But
but it's not possible.
That's how you know, no matter what you do, like break a 50-year goal scoring record in the league you play in, or win a treble and be the highest goal scorer in all the tournaments that you play in that are the major tournaments in the world.
Well,
does not matter.
I think for an MLS guy, he'd have to break all the records, plus it'd have to be a World Cup year where he has to win in the World Cup and he has to be effective in the World Cup.
Or, just hear me out.
Yeah.
Have your name be Messi. And virtually do nothing.
And do nothing. Still the best player in the world. All right, so it's going to be fun when Kylian Mbappe does eventually move from Paris to Madrid. All right, that's going to wrap us up for the week. I do, again, want to say a big thank you to our partners, Soccer World, Next Level Training, Thomas McGee's in downtown Detroit. Get down there, friends. Get down and watch some of the matches on the TVs that are there, and tell Eric that the We Are Soccer crew sent you. Thank you to the Michigan Jags. Absolutely love what the Jags do with my kids and how they train them. Had some great games this weekend, so thank you, Paul and the Jags and everybody involved. For me and the boys, we will see you next week.